Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel, and today we are going to be going back to early 2000s, I believe it would be, and we're going to check out the new metal scene from here in the United Kingdom. So when we talk about new metal, we talk about like the obvious bands like Korn, and we talk about Limp Bizkit and all that sort of stuff that came over from America. But the UK did have a new metal scene of homegrown talent. And we're going to check out a band called 1 Minute Silence. So they were kind of a crossover new metal and kind of hardcore. They blended it, and they never quite sat right within the standard new metal vibe because they never had that bounce melody. There was just a lot more aggression in it. So we're going to check out a song called "I Wear My Skin." Kirk, you're nodding. Do you know of this band?
Yeah, I remember one of their albums had quite poignant artwork with test tube babies in it.
Yes,
it was illustrated. He looked like somebody
it's
from
a really good album, actually.
Yeah, I mean, and I remember the song, the video I was watching.
They've done a few. They're not the best resolution nowadays because they were dropped at the early days of YouTube. And Andy, have you heard of the band 1 Minute Silence?
I'm just staggered yet again. Kirk's extensive knowledge of bands obscure and famous. So yeah, that's amazing. I think I have. They may have featured on a sort of cover mount CD that I've got. The sort of hardcore new metal sort of blend sort of sounds familiar. I'll enlighten you more further when we hear the video or see the video.
Yeah,
but not that familiar with them, to be honest. But I may have come across them.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what we think. Let's do it. Okay, there we go. 1 Minute Silence, and I Wear My Skin. begin. This definitely must have been an earlier 1 minute silence because that was definitely new metal. That was that was that. There was no subtlety in the fact that that was screaming of new metal. But Andy, over to you.
I really enjoyed that.
Oh, fucking hell! All right.
From the initial shot, you could see that it's from that time. You know, the sort of baggy long sleeve under the tight t-shirt, baggy pants, and whatever. So there was obviously sort of definitely very 90s about that. First thing I picked up on, the vocals were different to what I thought they're going to be. I was expecting something a little bit more harsh, but I did like his vocals, the different styles he delivered. One of the drums sounded very much like a tambourine. I don't know if you're the drum, you can fill in what I'm saying there in a second, but that seemed a little bit too intrusive, that drum tone, that drum sound that was coming across there. I liked every element of the video, all the different shots, the performance elements, the crowd scenes, and that was all really good. I thought, you said it was new metal all the way. I thought it was swinging very much, mostly new metal, but then particularly in the chorus and the outro, I was getting Biohazard vibes, in the guitars. So
that's the hardcore influence.
The hardcore bit, yeah. I mean, it wasn't a 50-50 between the two. It wasn't one or the other. It was, mainly new metal with those sort of hardcore elements at times. I like the synchronized spinning from the bass player and the guitarist. that was pretty good. But again, it's not one of them tracks where they haven't gone overboard with any aspect of it, vocally, musically, and just delivered a really good sort of catchy track. And it's, as I said, I have heard the name. Maybe I didn't play the cover mount CD that this particular band featured on if I have got one, but I will be checking them out. I think I'd get into these guys, and I certainly would have done way back then.
In the way back machine.
There's so many of the we talk all the time. No, I've never heard of them. There's probably so many decent bands I've missed out on over the years for one reason or another.
Oh dear! And yet you look in the background and you just see this whole wall of CDs, and you're like,
yeah, there's a number of genres there, but nothing from 1 minute silence.
Kirk.
So I will challenge you on this. I don't really see this as new metal. So I should give you my reasons why. Take out the rapping and the imagery, the aesthetic of the band. It's quite unique what was going on in Britain. I mean, I know they're originally from the Republic of Ireland, but they were based in London, weren't they? And that singer, I've just checked his name, Brian Barry. I remember him being in Kerrang quite a lot. So one, there's no teenage angst in this music. There are no harsh vocals in this music. Let's not forget Korn and Deftones have got some really unsettling, like neo death metal type harsh vocals, haven't they, in there? It didn't even have the extreme dynamics or the groove. If you look what was happening in England, in Britain at the time, you have bands like Earth Tone 9, Cyclefly. I think they were from the Republic of Ireland, weren't they? And you've got these two giants, Pitch Shifter and Lost Prophets. They really do have commercial success. You can put them all in the same scene, but I think retrospectively now, I wouldn't call any of them new metal, certainly not Pitch Shifter. They're a big influence on industrial metal. What really surprised me about that is the influence this band have probably had on Skindred. I could definitely hear a reggae vibe, even to the pitch of his voice. And also, that drum, Andy, that you picked out, the snare. Yeah. You hear that in reggae, but you also hear that in brutal death metal with blast beats. It's really strange. High-tuned, isn't it, Dave, the snare? Which you would never find. Any of those LA new metal bands would never have a drum sound like that. The aggression was quite controlled as well. There was a groove to it, but that didn't sound like any of the new metal bands. When we say new metal, we're almost talking about one city here, aren't we? Los Angeles. That's how dominant it is. There's nothing American about that music that you've just played there, other than some of the imagery with the nose piercing and the baggy trousers. Has that song stood up quite well? I actually would say it has. And this is not me trying to say I justify liking it by saying that it's not new metal. No. I just think if we do a reappraisal, that it's rap metal look at the origins of that. Stuck Mojo. No one calls them a new metal band, do they?
Yeah.
Because they have hardcore origins as well. My only criticism with this is the guitars are just not heavy at all, are they? And if we're looking at something 20 years later, that part of the music, that audio engineering has not aged well. But I actually enjoyed that song, and I don't know if we even had a new metal scene in Britain.
Okay.
Maybe alternative metal, Dave.
So interesting you say that. So I was just thinking about it, and they're listed down as rap metal stroke new metal is what they're kind of put in those genres. And I actually just, when you sort of mentioned it, I was like, what did I remember them being referred to when I remember, because they were out on tour with bands like Polkus, Kill to This, stuff like that, Vacant Stare, all these bands doing the same things. And they had different elements they all took elements of the American new metal, but we never called it new metal over here. We called it 2000s metal. That was the term that was being used because at the turn of the century, going into the 2000s, so from the late 90s going into 2000s, any band that was coming out with this sound was called 2000s metal because it was the bands that were of the time that were coming over and crossing over. I actually got a lot of Faith No More out of that track, weirdly.
No, I see where you're coming from.
With the melody, the twisted, where he was doing this kind of twisted vibe performance, and then he was going really off the rails. It's his performance more than anything. I got a real Mike Patton vibe off that. And the one thing that new metal gave us that I wasn't seen really by anyone before as a consistent is jumping around with your guitar and doing spins and kicks. You saw it a little bit with things like Van Halen doing a guitar kick or something, but never synchronized jumping, spinning around. How the fuck do you play a guitar riff, spinning around at about 50 miles an hour and jumping? I have no idea. I literally just drop shit straight away. But that is the heritage of new metal for us here. But I really enjoyed it. Good track. And for those watching, please stay tuned to the channel because we will have an interview with Massey, the guitarist from 1 Minute Silence, coming up on the channel very soon. So please do stick around. Not now, obviously, it won't be coming straight up after this video, but do stick around on the channel, subscribe, click the bell icon, you know the deal, to chat to Massey about obviously his time with 1 Minute Silence and of course his new current project. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.